Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Thank you for tuning in. Today's crypto in focus is IOTA. It is currently ranked 27th on the list of cryptos based on circulating market cap. And before I continue, a quick summary of what is in store for today's video. I'll expand on IOTA and I'll cover some of the historical price data, some partnerships and related news, how to access your MIOTA or keep it safe, the migration from the Trinity to the Firefly wallet, that's a recent development, two price analyses, we're focusing on one in particular, and a crypto market update. Now, as a reminder, none of this is financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor. I will say as well, if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with people, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with my latest videos as well. Returning to the IOTA homepage, so to expand on the protocol, it says it is an open, feeless, and scalable distributed ledger designed to support frictionless data and value transfer. To begin this, a key feature, as you've just seen on the screen there, it says IOTA is not a blockchain. What it involves instead is something called the tangle. So the reason why I'm making the key distinction, it's because the vast majority, or at least the major cryptocurrency projects or their actual assets, are based on blockchain technology. Now, to clarify, the blockchain and the tangle are both forms of distributed ledger technology. I will provide additional resources if you want to look further into that, but specifically about the tangle, so some of the key benefits listed here, it's highly scalable. So it uses this data structure called the Directed Acyclic Graph, or DAG. Low resource requirements, designed for devices such as sensors to participate in a low energy network. The energy-intensive nature of many proof-of-work cryptos, such as Bitcoin. However, that is a whole different kettle of fish. For the tangle, zero-fee transactions. So the good thing is, it is great for all transactions, irrespective of the amount being sent. That's been a major issue plaguing Ethereum. For the transaction fees involved with the network, although slowly improvements are being made. Fast transactions, of course, you're going to need the speed alongside the scalability. Optional quantum robustness. IOTA is resilient to the next generation of computing. It identifies here Winternitz signatures. For the more tech-savvy people out there, that is something to look into. A major development in IOTA's ecosystem, which has been going on for a while, is this thing called the coordicide. In a nutshell, it is the process of removing the centralized node, referred to as the coordinator. Once coordicide has been fully deployed, some of the listed benefits here: so decentralized and permissionless, finality within seconds, scalable and lightweight, modular and future-proof, so at least that helps with the scalability too. Feeless and data transactions, reliable governance and open source. There is a corresponding video with a series of modules there. As part of this major network upgrade, or rather a network migration, you'll often hear the term Chrysalis or Chrysalis. This is an update explanation of why this is significant. If I just scroll down this blog entry here, the Chrysalis update already contains many aspects required for the removal of the coordinator. On top of this, it will allow enterprises, developers, exchanges, custodians, and other partners to begin implementing their solutions with the launch of Chrysalis. And more details in this IOTA blog piece, Chrysalis, A New Dawn. I prefer to use sources directly from a crypto projects. I quite like the Medium blog pages. You've got other accounts too and their official website. It's generally better to use that as a primary source than to go through a news website. Sometimes they could be omitting some important pieces of information. But anyhow, another blog entry here, Chrysalis network migration. This is the April the 21st this year. The first phase of Chrysalis deployed on the IOTA network in August 2020. We are now in the final phase of the biggest upgrade in IOTA's history. And that link will take you back to the New Dawn entry that I just spoke about. So huge network upgrade, which led to a significant jump in IOTA's price. And that also coincided with the transition from the Trinity wallet to Firefly. Just another feature I would like to elaborate on before moving along. Many of these crypto projects, they speak a lot about having the scalability and the fast transactions, but security is another key feature that should not be overlooked. In fact, I would say it's probably more important than the scalability, transaction fees, and other variables involved. If you have a compromised network or you've got these vulnerabilities, you start to lose a lot of integrity. Ethereum, despite the ridiculously high costs that we've experienced in recent months, although the gas prices for the transactions have dropped, Bitcoin and Ethereum are two highly secure blockchains as opposed to many others, and as a result, people still like them in spite of their flaws. Now, specifically with IOTA, if you look here, it says designed entirely without fees, so no blocks, no miners. When you send an IOTA transaction, you validate to others. This allows IOTA to overcome the cost and scalability limitations of blockchain. So the reason I'm bringing this up, if you imagine there's no mining, there's no staking involved, so there's less incentive to contribute to the network's security. If there are no fees, that begs the question, what is being done to ensure the security of the network? Now, according to IOTA's website, it says here optional quantum robustness with Winternet signatures. This is through IOTA's Medium blog. This piece here assuring authenticity in the tangle with signatures. This is one of the matching articles I found relating to these Winternet signatures. It is fairly technical. Just as a quick overview, it hash functions in cryptography as part of the blockchain, but specifically with Tangle, it says that is all we need to build the secure digital signatures implemented in IOTA using the Winternet's one-time signature scheme. Any IOTA transaction is represented as a sequence of trites. While in the human world, numbers are represented by the digits 0 to 9, for IOTA in the trinary world, they consist of trites with values between 0 and 26. For brevity, I'll leave it at that, but for those of you that are more tech savvy, that's something to look into. Another reason why I'm bringing all of this up, last year, IOTA experienced an attack via its Trinity wallet. There is a summary provided by the Foundation. It says Trinity attack incident summary and next steps. Part 1, in a nutshell, based on this, it says back in early February, moderators on the IOTA Discord server started receiving reports from users who were observing a zero balance and or unauthorized outgoing transactions on their previously positive balance accounts. It became clear this was not an isolated incident, and the IOTA Foundation's engineering teams began to work on identifying the cause. This led to the IOTA Foundation's decision to halt the coordinator node, which was put in place as a temporary security mechanism during the network's maturation phase. Adding on to this, the decision to halt the coordinator is not one taken lightly, as it suspends the confirmation of value transactions on the network. Several updates provided in a separate website specifically about that attack. Now, for confirmation, that was just a one-off incident. I'm not saying the IOTA network is insecure. If this were to happen frequently, especially at this scale when you've got attacks on the ecosystem, that is a major cause for concern, but I'm just pointing this out to you so you can see what happened, what was being done, or what is the response from the IOTA Foundation, and what measures will be put in place to avoid such attacks occurring again. This is an ultra-competitive space. There needs to be plenty of emphasis placed on security whilst addressing scalability, transaction speed, and fees, which are all important nevertheless. Moving on to partnerships, starting from the most recent ones, I will expand on a few of these. Zebra and IOTA, digital green certificates, a decentralized and interoperable infrastructure. CGI and Nord Academy, enabling document authenticity through DLT. Cartesi and the IOTA Foundation partner to accelerate smart contract adoption for Internet of Things. IOTA and Chase Consortium, I'll speak about that shortly. Horizon and IOTA to expand IOTA oracles to two new blockchains. Curve Custody to expand the IOTA token ecosystem. Dell Technologies needs no introduction. There are others there, over 54 posts with this tag. So this is, I would say, your best source to go to specifically for any IOTA collaborations. Next up, IOTA partners with Cartesi to strengthen DeFi use cases, DeFi and NFTs. Two major topics of discussion in the crypto sphere over the past 12 months or even beyond. IOTA and Cartesi have partnered to close the gap between the traditional world and blockchain while also enhancing DeFi and NFT use cases. The chain-agnostic Layer 2 infrastructure, Cartesi, has partnered with the IOTA Foundation to expand the uses of DeFi, gaming, and NFTs. Additionally, both parties aim to serve as the bridge between traditional technological solutions and blockchain. It gives a spiel about Cartesi and IOTA. It says the organizations will focus on implementing improvements with some of the most popular fields of the cryptocurrency industry as of late. More information in this piece from Crypto Potato. I think it's very sensible. They're getting involved in particularly the NFT and DeFi spaces. These will remain relevant, especially DeFi. We'll see what happens. If you want specific information or further details about Layer 2, there is a concise piece here through Binance Academy. You'll often hear Layer 2 discussed for Bitcoin's Lightning Network or various Ethereum solutions, Plasma and Validium too that come to mind, but sticking to IOTA, IOTA Foundation joins Chase Consortium to design Europe's strategy for blockchain skills. The Erasmus program, major educational program as part of the European Union, one of the biggest markets to tap into around the world. Just touching on some key aspects of this, the foundation joined the consortium with some of Europe's most influential organizations in the blockchain and technology space, namely INATBA, Fujitsu, and the European Digital SME Alliance. Chase will provide blockchain innovation and skills development under a 4-year grant with the support of the Erasmus Plus program of the EU. The project will develop a certified training program for blockchain and DLTs and the first ever blockchain specialist occupational profile. It says the various Chase target groups here. So we've got public authorities, businesses, education and training providers, individuals, sectoral and social partners. So numerous stakeholders relating to that. There's more information specifically about the consortium. I won't go through this. There is a corresponding article from Invez, some of their insight or a summary of that too. The main IOTA website also provides a good synopsis of the various IOTA partnerships or the companies or the different collaborations. So it also mentions here over 100 collaborations and partnerships, more than 300 referencing patents, and beyond 235,000 community members. Much of the information I've covered, I won't bother repeating it. It's another good reference there. And there's a brief video talking about cities of the future. So IOTA, Jaguar Land Rover, Energy Lab, Cregan, and Entra. Specifically thinking of Jaguar Land Rover, considering this is a major brand, says IOTA inks game-changing crypto-powered deal with Jaguar Land Rover. Though it allows users of Jaguars or Land Rovers to earn rewards whilst driving by sending information about traffic conditions or road conditions as well. As part of IOTA's ecosystem, or as I should say, as part of this whole Internet of Things phenomenon, many of the customers purchasing these vehicles tend to have high amounts of disposable income. Any mention of IOTA or any crypto assets will most likely boost their profile, and then having them incorporated in the vehicles, there's some extra promotion. Having all of this data flowing through a system in real time, so all of these devices connected to each other. This was from a couple of years back. However, I did come across this recent piece, this is from October last year. It's from Reuters. Jaguar and NTT team up with Tech Group on remote access software. NG Lab was another one of these organizations listed. NG Lab and IOTA Foundation to drive DLT innovation in the smart energy ecosystem. So a huge sector which will be undergoing a lot of transformation in the coming years, especially as we move to cleaner sources of energy. Away from energy and transport, thinking of financial services, Crypto Finance is another company listed here that have been collaborating with IOTA. The various design decisions for components of Chrysalis also result in close cooperation with numerous industry partners. One of those is Crypto Finance and their crypto storage subsidiary, which specialize in storage and other crypto asset solutions for finance, industrial, and professional clients. And they've got further details at their website. Just as a quick side note, they are a Swiss-based company in Switzerland, or specifically a city called Zug. There's a part of it called Crypto Valley. So that attracts a lot of companies and startups that are highly active in the DLT space. This website covers a lot of the companies and organizations based there. I imagine there would be various companies throughout Crypto Valley taking a keen interest in IOTA. Moving on to ways to purchase and access your IOTA in a secure fashion. I'll begin with the trading pairs or the exchanges that list the crypto. So if you go back to the Live Coin Watch, or you can use any price website, look at the markets section. We'll give you the list of exchanges here. As a summary, we have Bitfinex, Binance, HitBTC, Bitpanda, CoinEx, Huobi, and some others listed there. There should be an option for everyone. Just moving to hardware wallets, or specifically, what has been the case so far up until a couple of weeks ago. It says here, so Trinity Wallet through Ledger. Actually, you can use Nano S or X. So either option's there. The other wallet I would generally suggest, and it's still my preferred option for most cryptos, is Trezor. The annoying thing is, Trezor does not support IOTA. If you look here as well, just as proof, you do a word search, there's just no IOTA showing up. Now the thing that is crazy, it's that IOTA has been in the top 50 for a long time now, or it's been up there in a nutshell. It has existed for several years. They have various cryptos listed, relatively unknown cryptos here, even the ones that are not ERC20 tokens, but they don't support IOTA, because there are other hardware wallets too that do not support the storage of private keys to access, which will now be the Firefly wallet from this point onwards. I strongly believe it's a matter of when, not if. So before moving on to my price analyses, a bit more insight into this wallet migration from Trinity to Firefly. For those of you who still have IOTA in your old Trinity wallet, which is now discontinued for your reference, there is this resource through the IOTA blog. It's Firefly token migration as part of the Chrysalis upgrade. It gives you all the relevant information for those not looking at the screen. If you use a Ledger Nano device to access or to store the private keys for your IOTA, Ledger Nano migration will be available in Firefly soon after the Chrysalis upgrade. While the Ledger implementation is nearly ready, we do not want to rush its testing and deployment. This should be available very shortly through Ledger. Here there is a step-by-step guide. If you want to import a wallet and restore a private seed, it gives you a good summary on how to do it. So I recommend checking out that resource. I consider this to be essential because it's not that often that I'm making these videos where we're in the process or we've just completed a wallet migration or this whole new revamp to the system, which is essentially what's happening. Now, there is something I forgot to mention earlier. As part of the Firefly upgrade, so I spoke about the Winternet's one-time signatures as part of IOTA security for the original network. Under the Chrysalis update, it mentions here, based on the Firefly website, it says we are using the ED or ED 25519 based on the ED DSA scheme instead of the Winternet's one-time signature. The advantage is that the new scheme addresses all of the issues that the WATS originally had, whereas this one verifies both single signature and batch verification very quickly, as well as faster key generation and smaller signatures. It claims to be very secure. There is a corresponding document here through the Chrysalis website for those that are interested. Now that's all been said, let's move on to my price analysis. To give you a quick summary before we jump into this recap of the relevant price statistics, and this is through Live Coin Watch, it's $1.96 per MIOTA. For the record too, if you notice some weird price fluctuations throughout this video, it's because I haven't recorded everything all at once, long story. But anyhow, circulating total and max supply all the same of about 2.78 billion MIOTA. So it's been at this, I believe, since inception, but don't quote me on that. There's a corresponding resource with this total amount, how we got to that, and the system of units there. Back to Live Coin Watch, that's the supply and it will remain that way at least for the foreseeable future, unless if there's a major change down the track. Just to give you some perspective in terms of the realistic price targets we could hit. I know it sounds obvious, but many people just struggle to understand that. MIOTA price chart, it is still down considerably from its all-time high. That was at about $5.64. Starting with my first price target here, $10 per MIOTA. Highly plausible in my opinion. I think it's part of the next major bull run, not just this overall bull market. I'm talking about a huge price explosion across the crypto market, as we've seen a lot of the altcoins recently have really picked up a lot of steam. MIOTA's slowly getting up there. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to a new all-time high by the end of this year. Don't quote me on that. I just think it's a plausible figure. We're going to take it, step by step. That's a $27.9 billion circulating market cap. Rewind a few months ago and we were hovering between about 25 and 40 cents for a while. Highly plausible circulating market cap, not out of the realm of possibility. To achieve these, I would say, first and foremost, you would need more exchanges and trading pairs. If you want to boost that liquidity, you need to give people those options to be able to purchase the tokens. On top of all of this, I would say it's more applicable to the higher targets, but relevant nevertheless. We require more support for hardware wallets. Quarter-side fully completed. I don't even think we'll need that to be the case to get the price up to $10. A market-wide bull run, I would say this would probably represent the start or the first quarter of a major market-wide bull run. $30 per MIOTA, $83.7 billion in circulating market cap. Now, at this point, okay, we're dealing with some serious money now. $3 to $9, pretty straightforward, but if you want to do 10 to 30 or any 3x growth at these higher targets, we're going to need massive growth in the IoT space. This nascent space, I think, has a lot of potential. Now, just to backtrack slightly, the Internet of Things concept is having this real-time flow of data and communication with various devices across our society for overall functionality and having everything connected to each other as part of everyday society. And it's touted that having this system will mean better productivity, more efficiency, everything running a lot smoother than what we have nowadays. I'd say interesting times ahead. You imagine, especially with the big push towards autonomous vehicles, robots, so on and so forth. But we're looking at IOTA as a dominant player in the overall system. On top of this, to get to $30 or maybe a higher target at this point, PayPal and Coinbase listings, I would say, would be essential. Now, if we return to the live CoinWatch website, just to put all of this into perspective, at the moment, just looking at the market caps, Binance Coin is currently $81.4 billion. XRP is up there in $72 billion. So you would be looking at IOTA hitting a market cap of these present, or even Cardano's up there too. Just like the lack of support for the hardware wallets or the compatibility, it's another thing that surprises me that Coinbase doesn't offer IOTA. I'm going on about this as IOTA's been around for a while, at least 4 to 5 years. Many crypto commentators have spoken about it as a crypto with a lot of potential. You get some exchanges listing random cryptos and ones that aren't really worthy of getting that much attention in my opinion. And they leave out some notable ones like IOTA or even VeChain, another one that I quite like. Now, of course, there are more exchanges than just Coinbase, but the reality is many beginners like to use that platform just to get some skin in the game. And I think it's important to get as many exchanges listing this as possible. I believe IOTA is one of these dark horses amongst the various altcoins. I mean, we've got thousands of them, but nevertheless, it's been up in the top 50 for a while. I see this remaining up there. Just elaborate on this for my next target, which is $60 per MIOTA. So $166 billion in circulating market cap. The widespread commercial and government use. So again, doubling the previous target. You can have your own opinions about Ethereum, whether you love it or you loathe it, or if you're indifferent. I'm mentioning this because Ethereum has huge amounts of adoption and many people backing it. Several different organizations, and this is specifically through the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. I'm throwing this in because IOTA would need to emulate this and have their own, say, IOTA Alliance or whatever collaboration group they have. If you want to see IOTA being up there with one of these heavyweights in the space, it's going to need the commercial and government use, especially the former, amongst daily use for various people. Numerous stakeholders will need to get involved if we want to see this price. Coupled with, it would need to be the leading crypto in the IoT usage or the overall sector worldwide. I don't see the point in giving a time frame with this anymore. I mean, you be the judge how long you think it would take to get this. Well, I should clarify, none of these are guaranteed. These are just hypothetical scenarios. My thoughts about some aspects of what is required to achieve the previously mentioned targets, and the following one too. I have said this for the highest price target, but I may as well talk about it now. So competition, we have no idea what's going to happen in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, beyond that. There could be someone else that will come along, could offer something superior to IOTA. The way they're going, it looks fairly promising. With the Chrysalis update as part of the quarter side, and a real push to have a decentralized Tangle, not blockchain, but even then, just having the Tangle as opposed to crypto that's based on blockchain, they could emerge as having superior technology and something that's very robust, highly scalable, the usual spiel about all these different crypto projects. Still early days, but competition, it will keep the IOTA Foundation and anyone developing on the project all on their toes. Many layers involved here. Okay, the last target, $100 per MIOTA, big target involved here, circulating market cap just shy of $278 billion US dollars at the constant, they should say circulating supply. At this point, hypothetically, you would assume this would be in full swing, as in we have this well integrated into our daily lives. IOTA being one of the major players, I've listed here at least 50 major partnerships required. Again, arbitrary, you pick your number, but you're going to need some big names spearheading this. Major companies that are using this several times a week, if not daily, a core component of their business. For those not looking at the screen, just the current circulating market caps. I speak a lot about perspective, so look at it from the point of view of other major cryptos. I've just listed a few. Bitcoin and Ethereum, where they're at now, where we have MIOTA at present. I've mentioned VeChain because some aspects of what IOTA is trying to do with the supply chain management and product tracing or the authenticity, I see VeChain getting involved in that. Another promising crypto, as I alluded to earlier, I don't see that disappearing either, especially when we want something that is decentralized. Who knows what will happen? But if you wanted $100 per MIOTA, that's where we will be now. Still less than Ethereum and Bitcoin. You could look at it both ways. You could say it's ridiculous that I'm actually making this comparison and I'm actually devaluing MIOTA as a result. But the way I look at it, from where it is now to even get to somewhere just about half of Ethereum's market cap, leaves plenty of room for growth and makes this somewhat plausible. Again, you be the judge. And I actually look forward to your feedback about this. How likely do you think these targets are? You're welcome to give your time frames as well. Now, the last one here is an unofficial, kind of like some tentative target or like a range, anything beyond $100 per MIOTA. It's too early to tell. That's the most sensible approach. That's a wrap for my main price analysis. There is a separate one that I'll skim through if you're interested. It's something that one of you recommended, whereby you're comparing the value of MIOTA to that of Bitcoin. I will acknowledge there is still fiat currency involved, but this is just an alternate scenario, another way to look at it all. We have various dollar values of MIOTA, how much Bitcoin you could purchase at the moment based on the current prices, the potential future value in Bitcoin at various Bitcoin price targets. Now, just as a reminder, these are hypothetical scenarios and it is possible that the Bitcoin price could eclipse the above mentioned targets sooner than one may expect. On top of this, we have no idea what could happen to MIOTA's price. You can tweak these data accordingly. That's all I have to say. Just finishing up with a quick market update courtesy of Live Coin Watch. So this is an updated version. So just recording this on the 27th of May 2021, just before publishing this. The price is as follows, just for some of the major cryptos: Bitcoin at $39,100, Ethereum $2,783, ADA $1.73, XRP back above $1. We've got, let's have a look at some others. This is a new entry in the list, I should say. ICP, new crypto in the top 10. That's at $134. Uniswap, $28.58. Link, $33. Matic doing very well. One of the best performing altcoins this year, I should say. That's $2.22. Litecoin just above $195. VeChain back above 12 cents. We've got others there. Aave just below $400. So many of these cryptos, I mean, yes, they're down over the past 24 hours, but they've picked up again after the major sell-off. And that's a wrap for the video. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with my latest content. If you have something to say or you just want to say g'day, we'll leave your feedback in the comments section. More videos coming shortly. See you later.